Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I got a review for Terrifier. I watched the first one last night, and now I'm recording this video and giving my review of it. It was the first time I have watched this, and I'm also going to be watching the rest of the series. And in a few hours, we also got Bad Blood, a WWE PLE, which I will be actually giving my predictions right after this video. So I'm pretty much going to make this video, make my predictions video, post them pretty much at the same time because I need to get those videos out before the event. But anyway, let's go into talking about this movie. IMDb rated this a 5.6. My rating was just a solid 6. It's a slasher film, so I kind of already was expecting it to be gory. I heard that it was intense at times, and I kind of knew that going into it, but I didn't know to the extent of it, and would have been kind of nice to fully know all of what to expect, but I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because it still made that viewing process still enjoyable. There wasn't overall, at least in my feeling watching it, there wasn't a full overall arcing story throughout it. It seemed more or less to be like just Art the Clown killing and just killing and 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 killing some more and then killing some more and then killing some more. I know there wasn't that much killing, but there was a lot of gruesome torture and killing throughout this movie. It was pretty interesting, though, because besides it feeling like there was no real story to it, it still made a loop by the end of the movie. So I was still like, okay, so there is an overarching story, but I don't fully know what that is. So I think I heard something about, like, the first couple of the first one and the second one, sorry, actually pretty much just being slasher films where all it is just people getting murdered for the entire movie, which, it's fine. It's not necessarily something I want to see all the time, but I wanted to see these movies, and I kind of knew that going into it. I felt like if you didn't know anything about Terrifier going into the movie, I definitely feel like that would be off-putting for it being so gruesome. But at this point, I definitely got to say, I don't know how the rest of the series is going to pan out. I have literally barely tried to do any research about the overall film, so that way I didn't really know anything going into it, because to me that's where I can enjoy a movie more, is if I go in there knowing nothing and then leave it feeling like I know everything, or I know how to connect story pieces of the movie together. It's one of the reasons why I rated Nope so high, is because it had an overarching story where maybe you didn't know all the details throughout it, but towards the end you grasped the concept of what that story was telling you. And that's what made Nope so good. And it's kind of why I'm knocking a few points. If I had to do just strictly speaking, if this was a slasher film, just specific reviews, I would probably give this an 8 or a 9 or potentially a 10, because it is a very gruesome film. But when I'm looking for these movies, I'm looking for how much enjoyment I'm having through the movie, how good the actual movie is, how the story is, how the kills are, how the scares are, all these different things. And while this movie wasn't super scary in the aspect of jump scares, it was a very creepy overall movie. And it was an overall experience that I didn't necessarily think I was going to have with this movie specifically. But I'm excited to watch the rest of the series. And it wasn't an enjoyable movie by any means. It was gruesome. I think there are improvements that could be made. Once again, I don't know overall if you could tell with so far these rankings, if you've seen these videos so far. I care a little bit more about story within it. That's also what gets me addicted to wrestling, is the storytelling aspects of it. So it's also like, I want to see, I would love to see this kind of slasher, but also having a story, which I don't know necessarily is fully possible. But I did actually see that the newest Terrifier movie was highly rated, or rated a lot more high than this one. So maybe that one has a little bit more story to it. But overall, it's definitely a movie where if you want a gruesome slasher, you definitely should watch it. And if you are looking for story and you don't care for as much gruesomeness, then you can definitely pass it. And either way, you will leave and pretty much be happy with your decision. I think that it was kind of weird because there was no real good guy protagonist to the bad guy antagonist, but to me he seemed more like the protagonist, being Art the Clown. Of course, it was pretty much just how he tortured them, how he killed them, on to the next victim, and how he made the protagonist, the main girl that it follows for a decent portion of this movie. You have her getting killed and being, to me, a shock, because I feel like a lot of horror movies, it's the reason why it becomes so predictable, is because 9 times out of 10 the protagonists always win. And so when you have a movie where where there is a twist ending, where the bad guys come out on top and win over the good guys, it makes that movie better. It's why I think that Infinity War specifically, if we're talking about like heroes and stuff, if you want to go into speaking about like the antagonist winning being better than the protagonist winning, an example would indeed be Infinity War, and it would be in comparison to Endgame. Endgame is a good movie, but Infinity War is better because you have that overarching story of the villains winning. It's what makes, like, everyone loves a good comeback story. Everybody loves these different things, and so it makes it to when you have a movie like this specifically, where you pretty much cannot stop this killer. No matter what they did, they could not stop the killer. The best kill of the movie for sure was Dawn. She was hung upside down and sawed in half. That's all I'm going to say. It honestly made me have a feeling of dread in a way. And it was like a very, very, very intense scene and scenes with that specific death. But there were a lot of really good ones. I'm not going to lie. It's part of the reason why I kind of wanted to have this a little bit higher, but with it not having an overarching story, I did dock it some points. But still, definitely not a waste of time. It would be interesting to do a second watch. So far, I've seen 4 movies this month, and 3 of them I will definitely watch again, being Terrifier, Smile, and Nope. But I'm excited to see where that goes in the future with Terrifier 2 and 3, and I'm excited to watch those and review it for you guys. But that's pretty much it for today's video. But it's not the last video for today, because right after this video, I will be making my predictions for Bad Blood. So if you're interested, it will be pretty much right up on my page afterwards. I don't know how long that video would take me to record, because sometimes they take me 10 minutes and sometimes they take me 25, but that's okay. Anyway, I appreciate you watching, and if you've gotten this far, don't forget to leave a like and a comment, and you guys have a great rest of your day.